Hey guys, I've been playing the game for over a year now, and I prefer negotiating over fighting. So I thought I'd just give you some tips on what I've learned about negotiating. First, I'm going to go in and enable my extra turns in the tavern. Normally I would do 15 minutes, but I'm going to do 30 today since I'm going to be doing a lot of talking. So we'll start our negotiations. I always select the first three and then coins and supplies if they're available, since they're plentiful. Getting 2 greens in the first round is not great because now you have only 3 slots to guess the rest of them. So I'm going to abandon this one, give up. And same thing, first 3, and then the coins and supplies. No greens, we like that. It sounds weird, but we like that. Now, one thing I found, if you have some reds and some yellows, I always like to start the unknown ones on the yellows. And this will help prevent repeating the same thing in each column, and I'll explain more about that later. So I left off at red here, so I'm going to start with the gear here. By the way, I don't really pay attention to the names of everything. I normally just think about the colors in my head because it's faster and easier. So if you hear me saying colors today, that's why. 2 reds. Yeah, we like reds to cut down on our possibilities. All right, let's see what we have here. 4 slots available, 4 supplies available, 5 slots available. That means something has to be repeated. So I always like to repeat the cheapest ones from the lower age. There's only 1 on here from the lower age, and it's already in that slot, so I'm gonna pick the next one. And now I'm just kind of filling in across here. I want to repeat the brown one, but it's already here, so I'm going to put it over here. And then we only have 1 left there. And I often do a quick check, make sure there's no duplicates in each column, make sure there's no duplicates across here, unless you know you have to have a duplicate. And in this case, we do. All right, now on turn 3, we want some green, so that's good. One thing I noticed right away is there's 3 brown ones here, so this is the only place where the brown can go. Now if you look at white, there's 3 possibilities here, but it can't go here, can't go here, so it has to go here. Red is a little trickier because now it can go here or here. Same with the gear. I guess that's machine, something. So I'm just gonna have to guess here, red or gear. Normally I would probably give up here, but since I only have 8 attempts, I'm gonna go ahead and spend diamonds. Usually not recommended until you're at kind of the last negotiation of each level. And again, even though, see, my lower age only has 300, 400 each. These have 3,000 each. You would think, well, I have more of these, so I should spend these first. Well, these are cheaper. These are basically half the price because these you can trade 2 of these for 1 of these. So I always like to use the cheaper ones first, even if you have less of them. And I always like to do my trades on Mondays because Mondays you can't play Guild Expedition. So I call that my trading day, and I try to set up plenty, 200, 300, 400 of each lower age supply, and of each current age supply is usually gives you a good cushion. So again, spend the lower age first. Now here I can choose, I'm going to choose these two, and then I have to choose one of these. So you can see the white I have 3,400, this one I have 3,900. So in this case, I'm going to choose the one I have more of. But you have to remember where you left off when you fill in the next round. So when I have a gap in some yellows here, I always like to start my next round kind of at the beginning of the group of yellows. So in this case, it would be here. So I left off with black and then went to there, so the next one would be white. And now I have to choose one of these to fill in here. I always choose one of the cheapest ones first. Even though you'll see you're spending 500 coins versus only 2 supplies, I still think it makes more sense to use these. And nowadays I'm choosing supplies more than coins, because coins you can trade for forge points, and I like to save my coins for forge points, so I use supplies when I can. And again, a sea of red, most people might freak out, but I like to see red because it cuts down on your number of options. So now I'm just going to kind of go diagonally here. Just double checking I don't get duplicates in each column. You never want to put supply here if you already have supply here. All right, it still looks like we still have 4 possibilities. Oh yes, so if you quickly look at our supplies here, there's 4 spots it can't be, so it has to go here. And again, I'm just going to keep carrying them over 1 slot. Coins can't go there, so I have to go there. And now we have to repeat something. Can't be one of these 2, so I have to guess one of these. And again, since these are both the same age, and I have more of this, even though this Coke, I think it's called, it has a bigger building than the rubber, so generally this is considered more valuable. So if I had equal numbers of these, I would choose this because the supply building is smaller, and therefore it tends to be more plentiful. But in this case, since I have more of these, I'm going to choose this one. Yeah, I'm going to give up on that one. All right, cheaper ones first. Plentiful one. Cheap ones. All right, good reds. So again, now my block of yellows starts here. So I'm gonna pick up where I left off. Left off between that and that. So I'm gonna start with the white, red. Now here I need to fill in one of these 2. Again, the supplies I consider cheaper, so I'm gonna spend those first. All right, how are we doing? So when they have 3 slots open, but we have 4 guesses. So I always like to leave one of the greens as one that I don't guess. And since this is cheaper, I'm gonna leave that one out and use the other 3. Say black, white, and supply. Now you'll notice with the black, kind of one, and the white actually, they're on opposite corners, so that means if one of these is in the wrong spot, it has to be in the middle. Okay, so only 2 options and 2 slots for our last turn. That's what we like to see. So there's only one place that these could go. And now we're up to 10. In this case, I could do coins and supplies at the end here, but since there's 10 and I'm probably gonna have to use them all anyway, I usually just go across the top row to make it easier. Oh, no greens, that's good. We don't want greens when we have 10 options, because then you almost always have to spend diamonds. More reds, that's good. So how many? We have 4 left, and I think we have 4 slots left, so that's great. So I'm just gonna fill them in like this. Okay, I just did something that I don't recommend. When you have 2 reds here, and you have a green here, this means it's less likely to appear in the next time. This one has to show up. This one may or may not show up. So I never like to put that one in 2 reds. I always like to put that one in a slot here. So at least if it's not here, you have one thing to eliminate here. So this is what I would recommend. In the red, if it's all red, you want to add a yellow, so at least you get some idea of what is not in this column. Since it's since this is less likely to show up, if you put it in here, you're pretty likely to get 3 reds, and then it really makes it difficult. So I would say put the green in a yellow column, basically. Don't put the green in a red column. Okay, let's see what we have left here. 3. Black can't go there, so it goes there. Not 100% sure if I can figure this out for sure. I think this is a guess. We'll see. All right, got pretty lucky, especially for the last round. We like that. Now this is telling me I have an idol to pick up. I try to avoid picking that up if I'm on a timer because I like to save them till the end. But since this is the last negotiation on this round, I'm gonna go pick it up now. That's great. We have plenty of those. Hey, now that is actually great. Gotta make some room. All right, level 4. I used to be so intimidated by this, but now it's no big deal. Okay, start with a cheaper one, only one on this level from the lower age. This is industrial and progressive. By the way, one little tip, if you're gonna age up into a new age, they say always do it right after the new guild expedition starts, because then you can still use goods from your previous age. You don't have to collect them from the new age yet. So if you're gonna age up, wait until Tuesday when the new guild expedition starts. All right, some reds, we like to see that. Eliminate some possibilities. So now we have 4 slots open, but 5 possibilities. So I'm gonna use everything except the green one. So we'll start here. One other little tip here, when I'm choosing the order, I like to separate, like this coin here, I like to separate it here and here. So then on the next round, I can move it over 1 without duplicating it. if I did it the opposite way, then when I shift over one, this coin can't go here, so it kind of screws me up. So it's a little easier if you always try to keep your guesses separated by 2 spaces. These 2 are separate, so next time it'll be easier to move them down this way. All right, so we got a red here, so that means I'm gonna bring back in the green one. So I'll shift over. And now I like to use this pattern where I'm going here, and then when there's a red going here and I'm replacing it, then I replace it with the green one. So this will become that. Okay, now I'm liking what I see here in terms of the coins. There's 3 places where it can't be, so it has to go here. Look at the supplies, can't go there, 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 so it has to go there. And I feel like I did this before, and I maybe should have been more careful, because now I have to guess. This black or red can go anywhere. See, this is coin supply, coin supply. It's better to mix them up to have like coin red, coin black, so you don't get the exact same thing in each column. But we're guessing here. Let's see what happens. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna spend diamonds just for you guys. All right, just wanted the lower age on this one. All right, 5 slots, 4 slots, 5 possibilities. So I'm gonna do everything except the green one. All right, so now we got a red, so that means we have to repeat one of the greens. Since this is a cheaper age, I'm gonna repeat that one. Oh, and here's a good point. This white and white is here, which means it has to go here, but I've got 2 turns left. This is really important. I've got 2 turns, so I don't need to put white here, because that's gonna eliminate one of my guesses on the next round. So instead of eliminating this, like I said, I'm gonna eliminate the white, because I already know where that goes. So, I'm gonna put the black one here. Sorry, rubber. So yeah, everything but white. Let me see. Again, just a quick check, make sure you don't have duplicates in each column. Two reds, that means we should have very few left over. So yeah, this is gonna be an easy one. The white can't go here, so it has to go here. Since this is not white, it has to be the tin. I always call that steel, but I guess it's tin. Okay, I used the lower age first. We got 3 of them this time. And now these 2, again, I look and see what I have the most of. This is 3,300, that's 3,800. The last 2 is 4,038, so I'm gonna skip to the last 2. So I have more of those. Again, in this age, the gasoline is a bigger building, so it's considered a more valuable asset. So I typically use that less, but I've got more of it right now, so I'm gonna use it. And just a quick check of where I left off. So I left off with the whale oil here. So I'll start with this one. And this time the yellows are kind of grouped together, so I'm gonna start here. They're not really grouped together, but we'll call the start of the group that here. So I'm gonna start there. here's the problem where, so now if I go in order, the next one would be this, but that would be repeating it. So I'm gonna bring in the other one instead. All right, rows of red, we don't really like that. So again, we don't want to put a green one in a red column. So I'm gonna shift these over here. Again, I like to try to separate them by 2 spaces so it's easier to pull them down this way. This has 2 yellows, so I was gonna put the green there, but that would be repeating it, so I can't do that. That means, in this case, this white has to go over here. And since this can't be any of the whites, this has to be this one. That was pretty lucky. All right, you see I'm out of attempts here. When I just collected 600 medals. Personally, I haven't used all my expansions, so I like to save my medals for expansions. But I'm active on 3 cities, and my guilds are pretty much expect you to do at least level 3, sometimes level 4. If you try to get them done, if you do guild expedition twice a day, you should be done by Thursday. So if you stay on top of it, you shouldn't have to use medals. I'm going to use a few today just for this. All right, we're up to 10 possibilities again. No greens, that's great. We don't like greens when we have 10 possibilities. So I don't really have to worry about the order here because we need to use all 5 of these. We know they can't be duplicates because they're all new. More reds, we like that. All right, let's see how many possibilities. We're down to 4 possibilities for 4 slots. That's good. Since we have a green one here and 2 yellows, I'm gonna put that green one over here. Move this white one down. And this one here. You know, I'm always reluctant to use metals, but you probably saw, I think the first one I bought, I think was 25 metals. This negotiation has cost me 125. So the number of metals you're spending is pretty low if you need to buy more attempts. All right, we got a green and a red. It's not too bad. Again, the white. This is asbestos, can't go there, so it has to go here. Metals can't go here, so it has to go here. And there's only one left. Spend the lower age first. And then I'm going to skip over to these since I have more of these. Five possibilities, 4 slots. So I'm going to use everything except the green one. And I've got a red, so I'm going to pull the green one back in. So I'm just going to shift everything over this way. just noticed 2 reds are there, so it has to go there. White can't go there, so it goes here, and then black is left over. Oh, and after you've been negotiating for a while, I like to keep an eye on the turns left. Sometimes you'll run out of that extra turn and not notice it, so after you've been doing it for a while, make sure you still have four attempts left down here. So 1 space there, so I'm going to start my new group here. Again, considering this is sort of like my block of yellow, so it starts here. I left off on the first white, so I'm going to start with the second white. Now I'm bringing back, I could bring back these 2, but these are the lower age, so I'm going to use those instead. And then make a mental note that I still need to include these 2 in the next round. All right, now I've got a green, 2 more reds. Let's see, 4 excuse me, 4 slots for 4 possibilities. So do a quick check, no duplicates in each column, no duplicate in the row. All right, and once you're down to 3 possibilities with 3 slots, it's usually pretty easy to figure out. There's 2 tires here, so it has to go here. There's 2 browns there, so it has to go there. And there's only 1 left over, it has to go there. Use the lower age, then the plentiful ones. Lots of red, we like that. 4 left and 5 slots, so we need to repeat something. Since we know there has to be black here, I'm gonna repeat that one. The others could be reds or greens or yellows, but we know it has to, there's at least one of these, so I'm gonna repeat that one, but not in the same column. So we'll put 2 blacks over there. All right, 2 reds there, so we don't want to put a green one in that column. I want to make sure we put a yellow one in there. All right, so gear has to go there, and the only thing left is the red. All right, let me see how I'm doing on my timer. Oh, 1 minute left, so I'll do 1 more. Make sure you have 4 here. See, if I didn't check my timer, that might run down to 3. All right, 10 possibilities. Cross your fingers. No greens, that's good. Easy 5 here. Or red, wow. Okay, so now we have 5 slots, 3 possibilities. Means you have to repeat 2 things. So I'm gonna repeat the brown, but separate it so it's easier to do this. I'm gonna repeat one of these. Let's see what I have more of, 3,800 versus 3,300. So I'm gonna repeat this, which means I'm gonna put that there. And good, so now we're down to 3 and 3 here. So brown, brown, so it has to go here. By the way, one thing I've learned about this, when you're down to 3 like this, the brown is, I call it covering up the white here. That means the white is always the last thing you fill in. So like brown here, that means that there's tin here, so it can't go there, so it has to go here. And then the only thing left over is the first thing you covered up, so I know the white has to go in the last slot. All right, I like diamonds. And so I'm gonna finish up here. I just check and see if I have any idols. There's no idols right now, so hope you guys enjoyed this. Feel free to leave some comments if you think I did something wrong, but hope it helps you save some diamonds and save some goods in the future. All right, have fun.